Thank you for tuning right back to this 2017 Bexar County Business Conference. Yes, the sheriff is in the building. Our Bexar County Sheriff, Sheriff Javier Salazar, is right here on BVN for this event. How you doing, Sheriff?
Good, man. I'm good, Keith. How about you?
Man, good to see you, Sheriff.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man. Looking good in the uniform. Let's go right into it. Tell my viewers a little bit about the department responsibilities at the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, well, as Bexar County Sheriff, let me give you, I got several responsibilities, man.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff to take in.
Right.
So, my main responsibility is to provide police services to the unincorporated areas of Bexar County. So basically what? The donut that's around San Antonio, right?
Okay.
But I see my responsibility being a little bit broader than that as far as that enforcement activity goes. Yes, that's my primary area of responsibility.
Okay.
But really the whole county is my responsibility,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So, the 1.8 million residents of Bexar County all pay my salary. I'm protecting 1.8 million of them, all of them. And so we're responsible for calls for service outside the incorporated areas.
Right.
But we're also acting proactively within the incorporated areas.
Okay.
Community policing, running warrants, issuing civil process,
okay.
Executing civil process.
Right.
So basically, we have run of the entire county, man. And in addition to that,
entire county.
oh, absolutely, the whole county.
Right.
Working with other agencies, the SAPD, of course, like on the Violent Crimes Task Force that we're doing in certain parts of town.
Right.
Working with smaller agencies, Live Oak, Converse, Leon Valley, Balcones Heights. There's over 30 law enforcement agencies that share jurisdiction here in Bexar County. I work with every last one of them.
Every last one.
Federal, state, and local.
Wow.
In addition to that, we run the Bexar County Jail.
Okay.
So at any given time, we've got anywhere from 4,000 to 4,500 inmates in the Bexar County Jail for various offenses.
Okay.
Some of them are there pre-trial, of course, so they're innocent until proven guilty.
Yes,
correct.
Sir.
But
yes,
they're there
sir.
for a litany of charges from minor stuff all the way on up to capital murder.
Right.
And we've also got some people that are serving out sentences there at the Bexar County Jail. So about 4,500 is our capacity, and right now we're at about 90% capacity.
90%.
About 90%
capacity at the county jail.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Wow.
So to help us do all of that stuff within the county, I've got about 1,800 employees.
Okay.
Law enforcement officers, detention officers, and civilian support staff.
Okay.
That we oversee.
Good stuff. Now, you mentioned a lot of things that you're responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the public wasn't previously aware, but what's the traditional sheriff's office associated with when we talk about your biggest responsibility? Crime prevention.
Crime prevention's a big one.
Let's touch on the crime prevention because we want our viewers to know exactly what you're doing when we talk about it.
As law enforcement, if we're just responsive,
Right.
if we're just sitting around waiting for somebody to call 911 or hit the panic alarm on their alarm system,
Okay.
we're not really doing anything to prevent crime.
Right.
We're basically now that dog that's chasing our tail, right?
Okay.
We're never going to make progress on it. So we like to act proactively here, prevent crime where possible.
Okay.
So we're training our officers on how to do it, but more importantly, we're training the public on how to prevent crime.
Right.
And so let me give you an example of one of the things that we're doing.
Feel free.
Social media, we started a hashtag campaign called hashtag 9 p.m. routine. Well,
Okay.
what's your 9 p.m. routine? Because we put it out just about every night on social media.
Right.
Next door, Facebook, which we can talk about. But we put it out on social media. 9 p.m. routine, everybody. Go outside, remove anything valuable from your car,
Okay.
lock the doors, and keep the keys with you. People say, well, that's common sense. It is common sense,
Correct.
but we've seen rashes of car burglaries in certain parts of town where the burglars are only targeting cars that are unlocked.
Wow.
And so they're coming through the neighborhood. The MO that we've seen is they'll unload 4 or 5 guys, maybe even 6 guys at the end of the street from a minivan.
Right.
They jump out and they just walk down the street checking car doors. And if it's open, if it's unlocked, they steal whatever's inside. If the keys are inside, believe it or not, that happens, they'll steal the car.
Wow.
So, by just simply educating the public, reminding them what's important, we're preventing a lot of these crimes from happening.
Yeah, now, I want my viewers to know also, the importance of safe community for a successful small business.
Oh, absolutely.
Sheriff.
Absolutely.
That's very important that we touch on that.
It is. So the small businesses, as you know, man, many times they in some communities they determine the flavor of the community. What kind of a community is this? And the businesses that are there will determine that for us. Sometimes they serve as the social center of the community. Like think about an old school barbershop, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody goes to just hang out, chill, and talk and laugh and enjoy. That's the social center of that neighborhood. If that small business, whatever it is, if it's that barbershop or the mom and pop liquor store, If that goes away,
Yeah.
so does a good portion of that neighborhood. And so that creates a vacuum in that neighborhood, and sometimes organized crime will come in and take over that, to fill that vacuum. So it's important to us to teach these communities how to protect themselves, or I'm sorry, these businesses, to teach them how to protect themselves from being victims of crime. Because many times if a small business keeps taking that hit, getting hit by burglars or robbers or whatever, they may have to raise their prices to keep up with the loss that they're experiencing through crime, or they may close up shop and say, you know what, this is not worth it here, we're going to move to another part of town, and that could be devastating to a community.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you touched on that, Sheriff, because those little small businesses, the mom and pop spots, are the fabric of the community.
It's the lifeblood of any community.
Yes, it is. They are the fabric of the community.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you, speaking of safe communities, enhanced quality of life, can you speak on new programs designed to recognize the small businesses operating as safe, secure entities in the city?
Yeah, man, we've got something that's baking right now at the sheriff's office. I mean, we just started. I've just only been in office about 11 months now.
Yeah.
But we've got a program that's in its infancy stages, and we're calling it the Bexar County Sheriff's Gold Badge Certification Program.
The Gold Badge
Certification Program. And I can't give too many details because it's very new. But we're going to be working with the various chambers, various business groups, people like the South Texas Merchants Association, the Hotel, Motel, Restaurant and the Restaurant Associations to work on best practices for crime prevention.
Right.
You'll be hearing a lot more of it as it unfolds, but we're forging partnerships everywhere we go because, as you mentioned, commerce is important, business is important.
Yes, it is.
Every business is important to what we do here, no matter the size of it, whether it's USAA or a mom and pop convenience store on the corner.
Yeah, those are some of the things that you brought at the sheriff's office.
Yes, sir.
Now let's, in the past you've mentioned that a small business owner, his or her employees and individuals can impact the major issues such as drug trade, human trafficking. Can you speak on the importance of awareness and communications for small business at your office in the aid of a major crime prevention?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about crime prevention, let's talk about a small hotel motel somewhere, right, in town.
Okay.
Well, we need to teach them how to protect themselves from being victims of crime, for sure. How to make sure that your front office is protected in the event of a robbery. How to prevent that robbery from occurring. What to do in the aftermath of that robbery. How to protect yourself against unfortunate employee pilferage, which does occur sometimes.
It does happen.
So we need to teach them that.
Right.
But what a lot of business owners don't realize is that they may be in a position to spot other kinds of crime and report it to us.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, hotel motel people are in a perfect position to spot things like human trafficking. Domestic child sex trafficking. They're in a perfect position to see that because a lot of these times these folks are bedding down for the night or setting up shop in one of these small hotel motels. If they know the warning signs to look for, they can give us a call and possibly even save a life of a child, man, that's a victim of
Now, Sheriff, even at a truck stop, because this is Texas.
Yes.
We got Flying J's and we got all these truck stops throughout this, the region of Texas. How important is it to stay on, these truck stops too with the sex trafficking?
I'll tell you what, man, truckers are some of the best eyes and ears we have out there. Because they may strike up a conversation with another truck driver there in the truck stop, or one of the employees may strike up a conversation with a truck driver that they may be asking him questions that a normal truck driver should know, and this cat just doesn't know the lingo. He doesn't know how to properly back up a trailer. Warning signs that say, man, something's up with this guy. He's not a real trucker. We come to find out this guy's a drug trafficker or a human trafficker with a carload of human trafficking victims in the back of his truck. We need to have that relationship to where they recognize the signs of what to do, of what's going on, and then they know who to call to report it.
Yeah, signs and symptoms.
Oh, absolutely,
man, they are so important.
Absolutely, and I can tell you right now, we just had this tragedy that happened earlier this year with that 18-wheeler.
That went on
with the victims in it. We had people lose their lives, man. And I can tell you right now, there were a lot of owners of businesses and truck stop owners, other truck drivers that saw that on TV and went, I've seen 100 trailers with those same indicators in my career, and if they'd have just known who to call, or if they'd have felt the confidence to speak up, we could have saved some lives. So the important thing is moving forward to teach people what to look out for.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Now, Sheriff, you've certainly got a handle on community policing and engagement. I'd like to turn the focus on the procurement now at the sheriff's office.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about the procurement at the sheriff's office. You know, what's the responsible for much more than just patrolling? You know, with the administrative office.
I mean, I'll tell you. So just like any other office, we've got needs. We've got to buy copier paper. We got to buy copiers. We got to buy, pens, pencils, desk calendars, all that kind of thing, the traditional stuff.
Right.
What about handcuffs? Where do we get our handcuffs? We buy thousands of pairs of handcuffs at any given time. We also, because we're running a jail, soap, shampoo, dispensers for soap and shampoo, towels, linens, jail uniforms. Those all have to come from somewhere, and that's part of the procurement process.
Yeah, and you just touched on that because I wanted to touch on that, some of the needs that the facility needs when we talk about procurement, but also, you know, some of the services and commodities. What some of the other things that the sheriff's office purchases?
I tell you, cars, tires, motor oil for those cars, the lights that go on them, the decals on the sides. I mean, we buy, I bet you, thousands, if not millions of products any given year, from small stuff to big stuff. Yeah,
that's good for those people that are in that industry. Now, regarding trade services, Sheriff, such as maintaining HVAC units and the facilities such as jail, substations, etc., does your office handle these solicitations?
Well, there's a county department that handles that for everybody, and it's our county purchasing folks. That you can reach them at 210-335-2211.
Okay, tell them that number again, Sheriff.
210-335-2211. Okay. They handle our county purchasing, our RFPs and all that kind of stuff. It's also on the Bexar County website. If you want to do business with the county at large, or with any one of the dozens of departments that we have, if you want to do business, that's the place to start with purchasing.
Okay. Yeah. Now you just said it, and I want you to repeat that because my next question was where does the sheriff office publish the solicitations for goods and services?
Well, we do it through purchasing. They'll do it online and through all the various publications that they utilize. But again, the number to get started is 210-335-2211.
Okay. Now, how does your department actually issue invitations for bids?
Through purchasing.
Through purchasing. Everything's going through purchasing.
They handle that, and they just let me handle the protecting and serving part.
Even the RFPs?
Yeah. We just kind of let them know what it is that we're looking for, and then they handle the RFP process.
Okay. Tell them that number again, because this is like the same question, but it's the same department, Sheriff, that's handling that.
The phone number is 210-335-2211, or check out the website www.bear.org. That's BEXAR.org.
Now, Sheriff, if a vendor has a question while filing a request for a quote or a bid or proposal document, can they contact you or your staff, or they got to go back to that same number?
They may be able to contact me or my staff. Again, sometimes we may be limited on what we can talk about when we're talking to a vendor. Right. So their best bet may be to check with the procurement, the purchasing people, see if they can answer the question. Right. If need be, they can call the Sheriff's Administration at 335-6010, 210-335-6010. We can certainly try to answer some questions, but the purchasing people may be the more appropriate people to talk to.
Now, Sheriff, you've been making an impact in the city since you came in as our new county sheriff. What are some of the things that are on the agenda for the new year 2018 when we talk about the sheriff? You don't have to touch on everything,
No,
Sheriff,
it's good stuff,
but just touch on a few things because I want our viewers to know what you're doing here in the city.
I'll tell you some of our top priorities for the law enforcement, for the sheriff's office. Training for our deputies. Okay. When I came in, we weren't doing nearly enough training for our deputies. Right. And people say, well, gosh, law enforcement training is an expensive undertaking. Yeah, but lack of training in a law enforcement agency is also expensive. Yeah. If you think about it,
yes, sir.
Some of the issues that we've seen in the nation, if we could just train our officers a little bit better to avoid these situations, it's going to come out a lot better in the long run, and we're going to save some lives. Right. So we're actually almost doubling the amount of training hours our deputies are going to be spending in the classroom for in-service training, annual in-service training. Okay. From about 20 to 24 hours to 40 hours a year is what they're going to be spending in the classroom, learning things like normal police tactics that we'd have to learn, qualifying with weapons, things like that. Right. But things like mental health training for our deputies, how to recognize signs and symptoms of certain diseases in the public that we're dealing with, de-escalation training, use of force training, shoot, don't shoot, which is just a priceless skill that you can train your deputies in. That's what we're going to be doing. We're also as far as our civilian staff, we're going to be undertaking a very aggressive approach to customer service.
Okay. That's good.
1.8 million residents in Bexar County. we got 1.8 million customers that need to be satisfied on a daily basis.
Right.
And we may only have one opportunity to make that impression with the public that we serve. And so we better be putting our best foot forward. We're going to be spending a lot of time training our civilian staff and anybody that deals with the public either by phone or face-to-face on face-to-face customer service training.
Customer service
man.
Just some of the basic stuff, huh?
Basic stuff. Just be nice. Just be nice. But, sometimes we got to be reminded the best ways to do it. And, you may get some people that come at us angry or come at us a little emotional.
Right.
We need to realize in law enforcement that, look, this person may be a very nice person, but right now they're having a hard time. They may be having the worst day of their life. And it's our job to make sure that they leave that encounter satisfied. We may not be able to please everybody, but we can at least try, and that's what this is. This training is going to put an emphasis on.
Yeah. That's good stuff because training is very important. Imperative when we're wearing that uniform. Sheriff, are you guys hiring at the sheriff's office for when we talk about the county jail or just the patrolman?
We are actually. Matter of fact, here at this conference, my recruiters are here. Okay. I've got my recruiting Sergeant Catherine Brown is an absolute rock star, and her recruiters are good at what they do. So the number to call for the sheriff's office if you're interested in applying is 210-335-JOBS. 335-JOBS. And we will actually hire young folks as young as 19 years of age to come and be detention officers. They'll spend a little bit of time in the jail working as detention officers before they can test over into law enforcement. And then the world is your oyster at that point, man. Write your own ticket for your career path. You can study to be an investigator. You can go up the chain and be a supervisor, command staff even.
Right.
You can work in forensics. The sky's the limit on what you can do.
The sky's the limit.
Oh, absolutely. So we'd love to have all these young people call 210-335-JOBS and apply with the sheriff's office.
Is there an email address too also,
you
Sheriff?
You can also check out the sheriff's office website at again bear.org/BCSO.
All right, well, Sheriff, thanks a lot, man. It's good to see you.
Thanks.
This is our Bexar County Sheriff right here at the 2017 Bexar County Business Conference. We'll be right back. Stay logged on.